What's up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn 7 branded house examples from some of the biggest brands in the world, so you can better understand this common brand architecture technique and consider it in your brand strategy sessions. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands that go beyond the logo and the visuals using strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to fast track your results, make sure you grab the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint. It's a free download and the link is in the description. Now, the terms brand architecture, branded house, house of brands, they all seem like terms that are meant for the biggest brands in the world. And although it's true that most examples that you'll see are from big brands, when you start to see them time and again, you begin to understand that they're just a form of structure that you can use for any brand in the world. So what is a branded house? Well, it's a structure used within brand architecture and brand strategy. And essentially what it does is it allows the parent brand that sits on top to provide clarity in the sub-brands that it offers. And it allows those sub-brands to both have individualism to be able to focus on specific audiences, but also to leverage the reputation and brand equity of the parent brand. So what are the advantages of a branded house? Well, there are 3 distinct advantages when it comes to using this strategy. The first, as I've mentioned before, is being able to leverage the brand equity and the reputation of the parent brand. Any brand going into the market needs to establish brand awareness, and if it's going into the market without any kind of parent brand or without the advantage of any kind of reputation, then it is a lot more difficult. A sub-brand going into the market leaning on the reputation of its parent brand has a distinct advantage. The second advantage when it comes to this strategy is clarity. Clarity in the products that the parent brand is offering. It's very easy to get confused from one product to the next or one service to the next, but this provides a bit of clarity to the audience and less confusion. And the final advantage when it comes to this strategy is clarity in communication, being able to speak directly to a specific segment of the audience about that particular sub-brand, being able to speak directly to the audience and not having to speak in broader terms to appease the parent brand enables a sub-brand to be a lot more specified in its messaging and a lot more clear and resonate better with who that audience is. So now you know what a branded house is and the advantages of using that strategy. Let's have a look at 7 examples from the world's biggest brands. Example number 1 is the one and only Apple. Now, without a doubt, this is the most famous example of a branded house structure. You have Apple sitting on top as the parent brand, and you have all of their products sitting underneath as individual sub-brands. So you have the iWatch, the iPhone, the iMac, the iPad. These are all individual brands that leverage the brand equity of the parent brand that is Apple and go into the market. Any new product that they put into the market leverages that brand equity. They go in with that reputation, and it's much easier for a product to be established within the market by leveraging the equity of the Apple brand. Branded house example number 2 is Google. Now, Google have many different products, and the challenge that Google has is that all of their products live in a digital environment, and often those environments are pretty small in terms of the screens on the phone or even the screens in a desktop environment. You need to be able to distinguish very quickly one product from the next. So Google uses the branded house strategy. They identify each and every one of their products individually by naming them individually, branding them individually. Now, each and every one of these products, you can see they distinctly sit within the Google family, but they're easily distinguishable from one product to the next. Branded house example number 3 is FedEx. Now, with FedEx, you have the FedEx Corp sitting on top, and underneath you have the sub-brands. So you have FedEx Ground, FedEx Express, FedEx Freight. Now, each one of these sub-brands are actually their own individual branded houses because they have sub-brands underneath those brands. So each of those sub-brands are both part of an umbrella strategy where they have a parent brand sitting on top, and they are each a parent brand to the sub-brands underneath. So this is another great example of a branded house strategy, and you can see why a brand like FedEx would use such a strategy to gain clarity in all of the different products and services that they have. Example number 4 is ING. Now, ING is a financial institution, and like most financial institutions, they have many different products for their audiences to choose from. Now, ING has used the branded house strategy to distinguish their individual products by name only, and that's why I like this example. A lot of different branded house examples have individual logos for the services, but when it comes to the ING example, they've just branded their products and services by name. So it's a great example of how you can use the branded house strategy without really going too deep into the visual identity and really separating out those into individual brands with individual websites. Simply by naming your products or services individually, you can leverage the branded house strategy. Example number 5 is Virgin. Now, I really like this example for a couple of reasons. With the other examples, the audiences tend to be quite closely aligned and the different brands cater to different segments within a particular audience. But when it comes to the Virgin example, these are completely different audiences. Virgin is such a bold brand and they're not shy about going into a completely different category and a completely different industry and trying to make a name for themselves there. The other reason that I really like the Virgin example is that each and every one of the sub brands here are distinctly different. The visual identities that they use, yes, you can see that they are definitely Virgin brands, but they are unique in and of themselves. So they really stand out on their own as these individual sub brands, but they are still very much a part of the Virgin ecosystem. So I really like this example of a branded house. Example number 6 is the BBC. Now, the BBC has many different channels and each one of those channels caters to a different audience. You have BBC News, you have BBC 1, 2, 3 and 4, you have their children's channel CBeebies, and you also have BBC Radio. Now, each and every one of these channels and each and every one of these stations have their own individual tone of voice. So they will use different tones of voice for the children's channel and they'll use different tones of voice for the news channel. So you can see why BBC would use a branded house structure to differentiate those audiences and differentiate those channels. And example number 7 is Sky. Now, Sky is the biggest TV broadcast network in the UK and Ireland, and it has a huge range of channels. Now, just like the BBC, each and every one of these channels caters to a different audience. You have Sky News, you have Sky Sports, Sky Cinema, Sky Atlantic. All of these individual channels cater to a different audience, and you have many sub channels within each one of those channels as well. So just like the FedEx example, many of these individual channels are branded houses in and of themselves. So the reason that I've used this example as well is that Sky strategically use these channels and group these channels together to cater to very specific audiences. So they know that some specific audiences will have an interest in both sports and movies and the children's channel. So they package them together to cater to that audience. So they have such a huge range of sub brands that they can mix and match and package those sub brands together to cater to specific audiences. So another great example of a branded house. So you can see from these examples why the branded house structure is so common, because it's so effective. And this is not just for big brands either. If you have products or services, or your clients have products or services that need to be distinguished one from the other, then a branded house is a legitimate structure that you can use. So take the time to sit down with your clients or discuss this in your brand strategy workshops and decide whether or not your individual products or individual services are worth branding individually within a branded house structure. If you want to better understand brand architecture, including branded house, house of brands, and other powerful and effective structures, then this video will help you out. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.